All right, so I'm asking you about what did I just say? It was oh yeah, how does your teacher get people to be involved more in class?
So one of my professors, Chris Ledford, actually, who's the head of the civil program, uses a technique.
On the camera.
He knows everyone's name in the class, and he randomly asks people during the lecture questions,
Right.
and so everyone is forced to pay attention, and it makes the class much more involved. He's also very funny and engaging, which makes the students much more likely to respond to that positively, as opposed to other teachers that I've had who've tried similar techniques but failed because it's more of a punishment than it is.
So do you think people in your class do
Opportunity.
better because they pay attention more?
They pay attention more, and they want to stay engaged because the teacher's fair and equitable, and it clearly does help their learning, I think.
Do you think the textbook has, or what do you think about the textbook in your learning for that class?
I personally don't use textbooks very much. I pay attention in class, and if lectures are done well, a textbook is not really necessary.
So you're saying it's like education, or you're saying you learn more through the teacher than you do the book?
Yes.
Then?
Textbooks are supplemental. So textbooks
So
have...
you think they shouldn't be a main thing to learn from? They're not like a main teacher of, it should be the teacher that's the actual,
Absolutely.
so not the textbook?
Yeah.
Do you feel like at RPI there's a I don't know, like a precedence towards using the book more than the teacher? 'Cause it seems
I
like
think
for
some classes it's definitely the case. I
Yeah,
think
like upper
classes
level-
that are particularly homework intensive,
like you think like upper level classes tend to be more like book oriented than teacher oriented, or do you feel like it's the other way around?
I think it's the other way around. The introductory courses tend to be more
Actually, I agree with that because
book
design
oriented.
optimization.
because those classes tend to be much larger, and so the teachers need a practical way to teach the material, and they can give a lecture, but it's not as personalized as a class, even with 60 students, is better than one with 250. So controlling class sizes is also a very useful technique in teaching.
So do you think that what you learn in this class you'll be able to apply to the real world in a practical application? Like if you're given like a problem, would you be able to apply what you learned and solve that problem?
I think
Given
like
your
all,
training at RPI, I guess.
like all engineering, it's about teaching you how to think in a way that allows you to solve problems, because
Exactly.
all problems are
Right.
different. And so for the civil classes that I've taken,
Mhm.
that's certainly been the case, because civil engineering is codified.
So they teach you how to solve.
They teach me where
Teach
to
you how to
find the
learn to solve
information
problems.
to solve the problems.
Okay, so they don't teach you how to solve just generic steps. They teach you like how to learn to adapt
Right.
to problems.
Yes.
Do you feel they do that in all aspects at RPI, or do you feel that's only like a
I think
civil
that's
thing?
I think that's only high level civil classes. Most of the general classes I took were not.
Do you think that
nearly
stretches
that
across the other
straightforward.
majors as well?
I mean, at that point, it's only speculation, but I would guess that would be the case too. I know at least for thermodynamics class I took, which is a mechanical engineering class
Mm-hmm.
prerequisite that I had to take, it was definitely more about learning how to solve specific problems and just being able to replicate that on a test rather than learning how to solve real world.
But in that, when you take tests, do they like more test you on concepts, or is it more just like plug and chug this problem? Do you have to like?
I think
Think
the best
outside-
tests are a combination of mathematics.
But like currently, well, like
concepts.
what you take now, is it more concepts or is it more just like here's?
It's more concepts.
Okay.
But
in lower level classes, there's more just here's a equation,
Right.
plug it in, get the answer.
But a well-written concepts test is at least as hard as a calculation test, because you have to know all the calculations to understand the concepts if it's
Right.
written well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then